Liverpool come from 1-0 down to beat Southampton and force Manchester City into a must-win game on the final day of the English Premier League. It has been an exhilarating season, and top four, the Championship, and maybe even the relegation race are all going to come down to that final day of the season. Jurgen Klopp opted this evening to rest a number of his first team players. Of course, some of that slightly forced with knocks to players like Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk that were not in the matchday squad this evening. But the overall quality of Liverpool's squad again shining through. The mentality is there. They pushed for the win and they got the job done. Jurgen Klopp is doing a very difficult job indeed. When you were trying to win 4 trophies, you have games like tonight that may, from the outside looking in, appear as though you're conceding the league. But in fact, to win the Champions League and the league, which he's still trying to do, rotation was going to be key. His main 11, 12, 13 players cannot kick every ball between now and the final whistle of the Champions League in just over, 10 days or so time, 10, 11 days time. But it goes down to that final day. Can a miracle happen? Can Liverpool Football Club become the champions of England once more? Do me a favor and smash the like button. Panel coming for you a little bit later. Make sure you subscribe. And when you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications as well. This is the Football Terrace, the fan highlights and reaction show. Let's go.
Absolutely magnificent.
What do you think's happening Sunday? That's the question I have for you all. What do you think is happening on Sunday? I want to know. Wolves come to Anfield. Aston Villa go to the Etihad. Will it be 2 wins? 2 wins from the 2 best teams in the world. Could there be a spanner thrown into the works? Could this be a case of City dropping points? Steven Gerrard and Coutinho. Could Liverpool still pull this off? What are your thoughts and what are your feelings? I want to know from you now. In terms of today's game, look, I think today was very much testament and proof of how good Liverpool's team are. They're not merely a knockout. They're not like Rafa Benitez's Liverpool team that were essentially a cup team. Knockout artists, brilliant in domestic competitions at times, excellent in the Champions League. Gerard Houlier's Liverpool team, when they were at their best, were very good in the cup competitions, not in the league. Liverpool are a very good league team. The fact they may end up with 1 league title versus City's 5 in this Klopp-Pep era doesn't mean they're not a very good league team. City have just been that little bit better. I do think, and this isn't to throw shade at FSG, Luis Diaz or a player of that ilk in the summer with Konate, and maybe the season goes a little bit differently. But that's for the end of the season conversations, really. They demonstrated themselves to be so capable tonight, Liverpool. Started well, started strong. Southampton score a goal that should never have been a goal. Should never have been allowed. A clear foul. Clear foul on, I think it was Jota. But Redmond scores a decent goal. Deflection, but decent goal. And you think to yourself, I'm listening to some Liverpool fans before the game. Too much rotation. A lot of rivals. Oh, we've conceded the league. What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. For me, you've got to have faith in Liverpool's squad depth. They do. Klopp does. And they took over the game. 2-1 tonight flatters Southampton. Liverpool were that good. It absolutely flatters them. It truly, truly does. And there's a lot of players out there. Harvey Elliott, excellent in the middle. Bobby Firmino. Rolling back the years, really, his link-up play, the way he moved the ball, how he brought his fellow teammates into play, dropping into the hole, cutting through those lines with either runs or passes, excellent. Minamino stepping up, not only with the goal, but with a very good performance. It's his first start in the Premier League since he was at Southampton, and he stepped up in that way. And what it demonstrates is a clear pattern and vision and philosophy. We know about this with Jurgen Klopp. We know what it's about. But it shows the mentality of each and every single player in that dressing room. Irrespective of ability, irrespective of, well, they're worth lots of money, they're brilliant players, their mentality shines through again today. Because these players, no player was sulking. They were fighting hard, saying, you know what, Jurgen, play me the final day of the season. In fact, there's an injury or maybe not, maybe tactical. Let me play against Real Madrid. I am good enough. And they all did their absolute best today. You got 72-year-old James Milner coming on and putting in a shift at right back. Excellent. It really is. And Matip and Konate, not troubled at all. And the Greek scouser, as they call him, Tsimikas. Look, he's not at Robertson's level, but that isn't a dig at him. Most left backs in the world aren't at Robertson's level. Robertson is another one of those left backs that's on course to being in the conversation for, if he top 5 of all time potentially in the league if he continues in this vein. It's going to be hard to become number 1 because most people always say Ashley Cole as an absolute prerequisite and almost like a done deal. But it was excellent tonight from Liverpool. Not the best football I've seen them play, but I thought for the volume of rotation, and there were a number of those players that won't be as fresh and as match fit as others, they were great. 2-1 flattered Southampton in many ways. It was only really the last couple of minutes of the game where Southampton were a bit more aggressive. They were on the front foot a little bit more, and they caused some problems. And even then, those problems were handled and dealt with ease. And this Liverpool team, when we get the panel on tonight, we're kind of doing a bit of a season review because the next 2 Liverpool games that we are live after will be in the studio. So it's very different from these panel situations. And of course, over the summer, we'll have transfer shows and shows about specific teams and we'll talk to people. But, what happens in the summer, we're going to bring up that a little bit later. We're going to be talking about how good a season this is with or without the Prem Champions League with the panel. We are going to ask them, well, if a miracle can happen. Many people think it will be a miracle. I just call it the Premier League. And I want to speak about the rotation tonight. Was everybody happy with that? We all know that goal difference is something that's going to be a difficult way for it to go. There was a part of me at some point in the game, though, that thought, if Liverpool had 4 or 5 more of their top players out here, they could have scored 6 or 7. But are Liverpool going to draw the final game and City lose? Probably not. Highly unlikely. But having said that, listen, who thought Arsenal would throw away a 6-point lead in the game in hand? I'm still basking in that from last night. It's so funny. And I know everyone will go, listen, it's the weakest thing you see on social media. Hang on, I've got to do the voice.
Well, how can you banter another team when, your team is, not that great?
I'll say what I want. That's all I'm saying. It's banter, bro. We've been just shut the up. That's all I'm saying. It's what happens. Do you know what I mean? You're allowed to do it. But we'll see what happens on the final day of the season. I am psyched. I've got my thoughts and I've got my feelings. I'm going to share it with the panel a little bit later. But what I need from you is that like button to be smashed. I need you to subscribe to the Football Terrace. You've got to get that done. And I have a lot of you, something like 39% of people watch the Football Terrace on the television, which is great. But I need you hitting the like button, people. Need that up. Need to get that up. Right, let's do some super chats here. Call me crazy. We are winning the league Sunday is what Hardeep Bobby Singh has got to say here. Call me crazy, he says. It's not a crazy notion that this could happen. It's not crazy. City have dropped points this season at home. Who knows? Opening 10 minutes. Coutinho goes through on goal. Edison brings him down and gets sent off and gives away a penalty. That could happen. It's happened before in football. I don't think it's crazy. It might be unlikely, but it isn't a crazy thought. Come on, Villa, get a result. Man like Terry Tibbs in the house. Hope you're well, my friend. They could do. They could. It goes to the wire. Squad rightfully rotated and 3 points, all that really matters. I never believed the league was done. Hopefully, Villa can pull a madness. Maybe they can. Do you know what would be really funny? If both of you lose. I don't know why I find that so funny. Because it's just weird. What bothers me about I think City will win. I'm kind of giving them a prediction. I think they'll do it because they are so good compared to Villa. But what annoys me is people saying, no, it can't happen. I'm like, why? I don't understand that people that say they watch football, nah, won't happen. It just, and then when I get predicting the obvious thing is so weak. Honestly, I'm calling these people out. It's very weak. I predict if I don't breathe for 10 minutes, I'll probably die. Honestly, that's all right. That's what I hear when people make really obvious predictions. It's impossible City lose. Well, it isn't, is it? 100%, I promise you they won't. It's not really a bold statement, bruv. If you live in Manchester, it rains a lot. We know. It's just the way it is. Slippy KDB incoming. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, this is also set up for another Aguero moment. I feel like it's the first time since Aguero it's gone down to the final day and been this close. Maybe not. I can't remember. I think there may have been one of a year. I think there was I don't remember. 2017? Maybe, I don't know. There was a day. But listen, it could happen. Who knows? 90 minutes, Gerrard subs himself in and scores a screamer. Can you imagine? It won't happen, but it'd be funny if it did. It would be a little bit funny. Southampton lost to Liverpool's B team, and yet they call the Premier League the best league in the world. Chelsea, look, you're a Chelsea fan. I do find interesting. I have found this interesting how you can support a team from England. And I'm going to say this, you may have moved abroad. Okay? But I'm see you paying in euros. That's why I'm saying you may have moved to a European country. But I'm going to hazard a guess you're from a European country. Why do you pick to support a team in England, but then like slag the league off? It's like me going, right, I support Juventus, but the league's shit. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Never does. Paul Tierney will give it to, come on, don't do any of that. Liverpool are better than the conspiracy theorists. You're better than that. Terry Judge incoming. Yeah, whatever I say is going to happen, the opposite does. I don't know about that. I don't know about Terry Judge. I don't know if that's a real thing. It could be. Maybe I should sell it. Officiating was atrocious. Someone drop off old man Atkinson at the pensioner's home and leave him there for good. Yeah, I thought it was a foul in the build-up to Liverpool's goal. One thing that I think Jamie Carragher said at halftime, it may have been read at, but made sense, is maybe because it was so far back in the move. One of the things that I really want the FA to bring in, on the Premier League, whoever else it is, the PGLOUTG2Q plus community, the referees thing, whatever they're called, is just let us know what's being said. If they literally played what was being said into our ears, a bit like they do in the NFL, you may not agree with it, but at least you understand it. At least you understand it. Well, you thought that. Mangla Lengan Sweet here says, Jack Grealish moment. It's his time to do it against Villa. Listen, something's happening. Final day of the season. Remember, we're going to be packed out in the Football Terrace studio. We've got 25 people, panelists, some legend and members of the Terrace will be in the studio on Sunday. We're all going to watch the game together, have a bit to eat, have a bit to drink, and then it's going to be, I don't quite know how we're going to orchestrate it yet. It's going to be the biggest match reaction show you've ever seen in your life. We've got the Gold Diggers are going to be there. I don't know who else is going to be there. Patrick's going to be there. Colleen's going to be there. KJ's going to be there. Loads of people are going to be there. I don't know all their names. I do know all of them individually. I just don't. I've seen the list and I can't remember. But there we go. Zane's going to be there. Zane, who's backstage, I believe, is going to be there. I think he said so. The Premier League is corrupt. It's a weird thing to say. But there we go. I want your score prediction for Sunday, both teams, in the same comment. So I can see what you think is going to happen. So that will mean like Liverpool 1, Wolves 2, City 3, Villa 0, like together in the same comment. Get that done, please. I'm going to bring the panel out. We've got man like Ishmael coming on. We've got Zane, Ram, I cannot forget Ram's name. Do you know what I mean? Man like Alice Band is here. Dom Hussam and Rack. Rack's back in the penthouse tonight, people. Rack is back in the penthouse. Ready to go. Man literally looks like Scarface levels. The lights, he's got the door open to show us our man's flexing backstage. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see the lights over my pool at night. No, I'm not, because I ain't turned the heating on the pool this year. I told the kids, nah, because prices are mental. So swim cold or not tall. I ain't turning that heating on, bruv. Man, ain't rolling the money. Winnerpool here says 1-1 and 3-0. Winnerpool thinks Liverpool are winning the league, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2 in the City game. 4-0 Liverpool is what Herdeep's got to say. 1-1, 2-0. I mean, like here says 3-0 Liverpool, 5-0 City. That'd be like a bit of an anti. Do you know it's going to be one of those though? If City go like 2 or 3 goals up in the first half, it's just going to be, man. What's going to be mad about final day though? Because today, everyone's basically given Arsenal their season funeral, haven't they? I mean, some of them even cremated themselves. They've just laid down in the box and been put in the. Can you imagine if Spurs lose to Norwich? Oh my God. We're all in the mud. We're literally all in the mud. We're literally all in the mud. It's as simple as that. Martin here says, Terry, my super chat. I didn't see your super chat, Martin. I came to see to Great Britain when I was 4. Don't just assume. Well, I'm not assuming. You're paying in euros, my friend. You're literally paying in euros. I'm not assuming. You're not unless you're using a VPN to say you're in another country. You're paying in euros, which means you're in Europe. I'm just saying. It's not a dig. It's just you paying in euros. I don't think that was harsh. Martin here says Gerrard and Coutinho can right the wrongs from 2014. Please do the Lord's work. The streets need more fraudiola slander, is what Martin has got to say. But I'm going to bring my panel out now to review tonight. Talk about Sunday, talk about the Champions League, and what must their club do in the summer. Please make sure you've smashed that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the only fan channel in the world that lets you talk every single day. It's not a dig. It's just the truth. Let's go. Welcome back, gentlemen. How you all doing?
Yo, good. Terry, it's receipt season, bro. I need to call something out. I need to cash in another receipt.
Well, mate, you can do that a little bit later. Let's talk the game first. And we'll come back to
Man
that
came
later.
straight in with the receipts.
Zayn, I've given you this advice before. Cook. Do you know how you cook the best, right? When people make a barbecue, right, they make it really hot and stick the meat on. No, let it cool down. Cook it for a time. Tenderize it. You know, like when you're with your woman, like, you know what I mean? You go out for dinner, you see a film, slow walk home, you stroke her hair, you hold her hand, you kiss the lips, the neck, the ears, right? What you don't do is go, lay down now. That's what you do, bro. You're like, Zayn's idea of date night is lay down now. Do you know what I mean? Chill out, bro. Chill out, brother. Boys, first and foremost. Oh, look, Mama Flossie here says, not this Muppet. That's love. That's love. Listen, Zayn is a 1 minute man. They're coming for you, my guy. But listen,
I still got my woman, Terry, bro. Your woman left you, bro. You got next one now.
Hey!
Man got jokes.
It's not actually true, but it's cool.
Hey, man, we'll go with the story. We'll run with it. Anyway,
I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. I was actually complimenting you by having fun. Now he broke my heart.
Okay, guys, welcome to the football terrace. Where we're going to speak football. Thank you guys so much, and watching us right now. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the football terrace in the name of the channel, the football terrace. Back to football. So Terry, just to answer the question, I'm feeling wonderful today. We beat Southampton. You get me? It was an amazing. I just had to bring it back. I had to bring it back. So listen, we beat Southampton. You get me? The French players today, a lot of them played well. I think the thing is, first of all, I'm gonna actually have a go at my fan base a little bit here for 2 reasons. Number one, the people who are questioning Klopp's selection. We literally just played 120 minutes of football literally 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we played 120 minutes of football. In the 105th, like on the 100th minute onwards, the Liverpool players could not run anymore. Like they were just like, every time you saw one of them, like on the camera, when they zoom in, he was just like, that's literally always happening because they were literally out of breath. We played Champions League, then Spurs, then Villa midweek, and then a final, and then 2 days later we're playing Southampton away. So you're not going to start the same exact team. So you're going to have to rotate. I had no problem with the rotation. Minamino is our Carabao Cup and FA Cup top goal scorer, so he deserved an opportunity. Players deserved opportunities. Curtis Jones, I will reserve my thing on him because, I don't know who here likes Curtis Jones and are going to start shouting at me. That's number one. Number two, the Liverpool fan base, with all due respect, you guys, for the first time in our life, we have a squad. We actually have a squad. Rax, I know, is older than the rest of us. But for the first time in our lives, at least the younger ones here, we've seen a proper squad. And because now that we've seen a proper squad, all everyone wants to do is, don't play this guy, don't play that guy. The point of having a good squad is to use that good squad. The point of having a good squad is not to start the same exact 11 week in, week out, game in, game out, because what's the point? Because let me tell you the reverse scenario. Had Thiago, Keita, and whoever started today, and God forbid, they
Injuries.
oh my
injuries.
God,
Yeah.
why is Klopp playing them? This was a non-important game anyway. We only have 1% of winning the league. So now he does the reverse and won a bitch anyway. So I just find it weird. But anyway, listen, we get the win, 2-1. And Terry was spot on when he opened the show, like when he was alone, not when Zayn was here. When he opened the show, and then he said, like, this actually, the score line was actually not a real reflection of the game. That could have ended 5-1. Easily could have ended 5-1, 6-1. We absolutely hammered them. But listen, the performance amazing and stuff. And we take it to the last game week. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, whatever.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there about when I saw the level of rotation, I actually asked a question on Twitter, and it's very weird at the moment with some Liverpool fans, because I tweeted because I hadn't seen any press conferences. It was I don't know if people realize yesterday was a very busy day on the terrace. Had a lot going on with with Arsenal's game and stuff. And I just tweeted saying, why so much rotation? Is it our players injured? Because I didn't know that. I didn't see any confirmation anywhere, because I didn't look for it on Salah, Van Dijk, and some other bits and pieces. And in fact, I saw Klopp's interview before the game, and he kind of relayed a little bit of it. And there was so much, like, I would say, aggression. We played 120 minutes a few days ago. You idiot! Why would he not rotate? So I'm not saying he shouldn't. I would just ask. That's what I found really weird. I could feel there was a lot of angst and a lot of frustration. And what I started thinking throughout the game was what you said, Don, was very much, you man have been praising your squad for 3 or 4 months solid now, but then it's used and yet everybody's angry. That tells me that people don't have as much faith in this squad as maybe they're making out on social media. Otherwise,
they don't know how to behave, Terry. They just don't know how to behave.
That's
Simple
what it
as.
is.
Yeah,
We're
we
not-
have
we're
a
not
squad
used to
and they
this.
just don't know how to
We're not.
behave, because this is the first time we've been in this position. Have you ever seen a Liverpool squad as strong as this, Terry, your whole life? Have you ever seen one?
no, this is not, well, yes, I was alive in the 80s, but yeah, I was a kid. But like in the Premier League,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like I
Yeah,
remember
so-
your 80s teams, but no, it is where it is. And I mean, you said, Ram, in the group chat that you were a little bit concerned with the volume of rotation, but I mean, they really did play well.
Yeah, I thought he was going to rotate a lot, but I didn't think he was going to rotate this much. Like, I thought maybe the likes of Hendo and Keita may still be on the pitch. I know Keita came off the FA Cup final after 65 minutes, but playing Elliott and Jones, I was like, God damn, he's actually rotated like properly. Like no qualms about that. But it was a risk, but the boys showed up. The boys showed up today. Harvey was great. I thought Curtis Jones was very good, especially in those tight spaces against the Southampton midfield. And look, Minamino got his goal. I wish Divock got his goal as well, but it is what it is. Every single player deserves a lot of praise. And like I said on Saturday, the penalty was a showing of how good our squad is. Tsimikas takes the most important penalty and scores it. That's been the story of our season. The squad has shown up when they've been asked to do something. When Salah and Mane were at AFCON, they showed up. In the cup games, they showed up. So yeah. And by the way, if you can hear any screaming, the Forest game is still going on. So if you hear some,
it's on. Is that your dad? Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
Listen, no issue with a bit of football screaming. I wanted to ask you guys about, it's part of the squad and a bit to do with Harvey Elliott. We obviously know Klopp said in the build up to the game today that he was the best player at Liverpool in the first 4 games this season. Got the horrible injury, and then the likes of Thiago and just taking things to a new level. What I find interesting is clubs where their teams are struggling, but they've got a talented youngster, seem to get very angry when a top quality player is linked coming into your club in that position. I don't hear any Liverpool fan going, why the fuck is Thiago playing? It's getting in the way of Elliott becoming a top player. It's kind of a bit of a question, but it's sort of, it just shows the level-headedness of the majority of the Liverpool fan base when it comes to the development of your squad. You realize that you need good youngsters coming through, but you also need star players to get you over that line right now. And
even Chouameni, who's been linked quite heavily recently. There hasn't been any debate in the amongst Liverpool fan base saying, "Oh no, we shouldn't bring him in." Similar with Carvalho. some of these players, they're very, very, very talented youngsters. And, you know, if Elliott ends up becoming a very good squad player for us, that's still good, because it means that we don't have to spend 30 million on a squad player. We spend, I don't know, 6 million or whatever, 7 million, and he could play for us as a squad player for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
all he can do as well is learn of someone
so
like
just on that
Silva.
though, Terry,
Right.
if you want to win a league, you need the squad, right? Every amazing team had a really strong squad where certain players were coming that never played. Man United were key classic for that, right? So you got to understand that what's been built here is hopefully something that it's long lasting. There's a future plan. The fact that Klopp's extended for 2 years, right, to me shows that he's got that balance right, where he's got experienced people bringing in the new people and testing them. And I'll be honest, Elliott, he didn't play well today. I was kind of glad. I think he stayed on an extra 10 minutes. He should have gone off for 10 minutes earlier than that, because it was just too much for him, man. Do you know what I mean? So I think, you know, in one way, it's a good sign. You know, he's ready. Like, you know, again, you know, Minamino, I don't think many people were singing the boys' praises. I think I was. You know, that's before, you know, at the start of the season, before all the things that have happened. So I just find it strange. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, Zayn. Okay.
No. I'm just calling it out, brother, because like I said, man, there's a lot of shade being thrown sometimes, bro. And
You're a visionary.
I'm consistent. I'm not flip-flop like certain man around here. Do you get me, bro? I'm not flaccid, bro. Do you get me, man? Do you know what I mean? So from my point of view, like I said, you've got to allow players to do their job. If they do their job, support them. If they don't, then fair enough. And I've been critical of players this season as well.
I think with the Minamino thing, and I think that's what you came on with the energy on about earlier. Like, I kind of sit here and have listened to you all debate that. People's argument about Minamino is that if he had to play 15 games straight, a bit like Divock Origi, you wouldn't maybe deliver the results that you need as
don't disrespect Divock.
No, Terry, that's
Divock will get goals. Divock will get goals.
No, not King Divock.
Let's be real. No, but let's be real though. We wouldn't want Divock to start every game of the season, would we?
So if Mane and Salah left this summer and Klopp said, "Listen,
no.
Well, I'll play this level. So let me ask you this question, Zayn. Salah and Mane, Firmino and Salah leave this summer, and Divock Origi and Minamino step into their stead. You're happy?
No, they're squad players, and as I keep saying, for us to win the amount of trophies we're potentially going to win, plus winning the league, you need players to come in and do their job. JOB, assist, goals. If you're up front, Minamino's done that. It doesn't matter how classy some of the goals are. It's a goal. You've done your job, bro.
Well,
and that's what you know, Terry. You're being disingenuous. No matter times, Man United,
I'm not saying you are bending it a bit. You are bending the truth a little bit, because on that specific thing, I said I didn't want Minamino to come on to take off Salah or Mane. I wanted a Diaby, a Diaz, or an Nkunku to come on. So you're kind of bending it a little bit.
Hold on.
Zayn, let me just. He has done his job when he's played in the cup games against some of the smaller teams this year, and you know he didn't start in the cup games in the semi-finals and the finals, did he? Because you needed better players than him. Minamino is a good professional. He's a very talented football player, and he is very good. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have good squad players. I don't think I've ever once said you need rubbish squad players. That is never what I've ever said before. The point in that debate is that you made out like if he played more, he'd do what Luis Diaz did. And I don't think he's of that level. And
that's not correct. That's your interpretation. Again, chat, see, there's this agenda
because
I never quite said
when we had the conversation, you wanted to take out Mane more.
Zane, but you don't need to say things to imply them. Do you get what I mean? It's one of them.
In that time, I would have taken out Mane for him. I would have. Because Mane was thinking it up. But anyway, I just want to say... Ram, let me just say one thing. The energy regarding the Liverpool squad, the change around that energy is just unbelievable. Like, if this conversation was happening in August right now, not one person, me included, would be saying anything we're saying right now. I'm telling you right now. But you know what? Why football is beautiful? Because with new information, you get new opinions. This is the most fit Matip has ever been. This is the most fit Keita has ever been. This is the most fit Oxlade-Chamberlain has ever been. This is the most contributions we've ever gotten out of Minamino. Divock Origi's come out and he scored goals again. Harvey Elliott has been an incredible surprise for us. Gomez has covered in for centre back and right back. Tsimikas has been an absolutely incredible left back. When Adrian signed a contract extension, I lost my shit. I lost my shit on Twitter, and I got photoshopped into pictures of weird things by 50-year-old men who are FSG, and just because I hated Adrian. Now Kelleher starts, things change. It's fine. You can come on here and you say, I didn't think the squad will be this good, which is fine, but my opinion changed because they proved me wrong. It's okay. But don't come on here and pretend that you said Minamino was good in August, because no one did.
No, I hear that completely. Look, we can talk to the squad till we're blue in the face. We're going to touch on what happened in the summer a bit later. I want to talk about Sunday. Is a miracle going to happen on Sunday, or is it not a miracle? Like, what's your take? What's going to happen this Sunday?
Say it.
I've said from the jump in it that 85th to 89th minute, Coutinho inside left channel. He's going to wrap one top bins, and he's going to win us the league. I don't know if it's going to be an equalizer or the winner. Right now, it doesn't even matter. It's going to happen. Some things are just written in football.
Yeah.
The same way, Terry, you'll say that Solskjaer was destined to stick out his right leg in Barcelona. Coutinho is destined to win us the league on Sunday. I believe it's going to happen some way, somehow. It's been written. And the fact that we've even pulled it back to this point from 14 games, people can talk about games in hand FC, but we actually got the points on the board. Like, if we want to talk about Arsenal, another team who were games in hand FC, they didn't get their points on the board. So, like, you've got to be there to do it, and we've done it. So I just, like, listen, you can call me a fool, but we've got to this point, and I'll be a fool now not to believe that we're going to do it. So, yeah, I've got to have faith. Unless City go 2-0 up in, like, the first 10 minutes. But between now and Sunday, I'm believing it's going to happen.
Hope is everything. Hope is everything.
It's the hope that kills you, bro. It's the hope that kills you.
So on this, right, 70% City should win the game, win the title. 30% is Liverpool doing something mad, right? Like the Aguero thing, right? Because obviously you can't be emotional too much, because football just messes with you, bro.
I'll take 30% though. If you told me that at the beginning of the season, I would have taken 30%.
Yeah.
If someone said you got a 30% chance on the last day, I would have said yeah.
So obviously it is written in the stars in terms of Steve Gerrard. He wants to redeem himself for losing that title for Liverpool. So this may be his option. He could do a dirty Jose Mourinho job. Park the bus, FC, make it dirty, spoil it, give me a bucket, just get a draw. Because technically, if City, we need City to either lose or draw, and we win, and that's it, right? So ultimately, we have to do our job on our side. But you never know, man. But I still saying City are favourites. Hope you can understand where I'm coming from.
I don't know where you got 30% from, bro. That's
Igal told him. Igal told him. That's why.
Listen, forget Igal's graph's been telling him Arsenal are getting fourth since January. Forget Igal's graphs.
No.
Look, if we're being realistic, it's 1% and 99%. That's the truth. Because
technically 5%.
Technically, Aston Villa play on Thursday, and they're gonna go Sunday to the Etihad, not Villa Park. So technically, they're going to the home of the Premier League champions, and it's going to be buzzing over there. And I know, the Coutinho, Gerrard stuff, Villa players want to stop Grealish from winning the league. You get me, Gerrard is the manager. They have Fernandinho in defense. We know all that good stuff. And I believe. But to say 30% is a bit too much, man. 1%.
Come on, guys. What do you guys think? What's your percentage?
That's more than 1%. It's more than 1%.
Yeah, well, go on then. Come on.
2%. There you go.
What's your percentage?
It's more than. I haven't really thought about it on a percentage basis. There's a question here, though, from Super Chat from BC, who says, Terry, who's under more pressure, City or Liverpool? I believe City, as the pressure is slightly off Liverpool. And that's look, I agree with that. And equally, there's another comment from a Liverpool fan here that says that Matip header went in, anything can happen. That's what I think this comes down to. I don't see Aston Villa outplaying and outperforming Man City. Palace beat them there, but they didn't really outperform them. There was a counter-attack goal early, and then a silly red card and another counter-attack goal. It's going to have to be a game like that where Villa defend to within an inch of their lives. They score, and they score a couple of goals on the counter and maybe a red card or a penalty. It will need. That's why I think the percentage is very low. So it needs.
What then, Terry?
10% chance that
10%.
Liverpool
That's high
better than mine.
No, I'd say 10% based on the fact that, and I think
You know what?
Don makes a great point. The fact they play Thursday, Sunday as well, that's what makes it hard because they're going to be tired, and City are going to be that crowd, that noise. I mean, they will be noisy. They're going to turn up from that first minute, but every minute that ticks by, that City are not leading, the pressure, based on BC's comment, will build up. The pressure will build up, no doubt. Like, what's your take, Rack? Like, what do you think is going to happen Sunday?
Look, I mean, believing that Liverpool are gonna win the title doesn't cost. It's free, right? So I'm gonna believe it until it's not possible. I don't know.
All right, Gal.
Gal. No, what I'm saying is that I don't know how often does City drop points at home? Probably 1 in 10 games. So maybe you could say 10% or just coming at that. But ultimately, let's say we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I remember 18-19 when Brighton scored that first goal. I think that was the season you're referring to, Terry. When Brighton scored that first goal and City were losing 1-0 at Brighton, and we were just scored and we were winning. And then all of a sudden, you really do think it's you're gonna do it. But and then it didn't work out. It's a long shot, but we could do it, man. Why not?
Look, we all Liverpool fans have seen stupider stuff in football. Like, we've seen a lot of stupid stuff that happened to our club. So
if I can see Jimmy Traore lift the Champions League, look, I can see us.
And also like something crazy could happen, right? Like in the Palace game where City played Palace, City had a man sent off. They had Laporte sent off. If City gets someone sent off early doors for some innocuous last man tackle or a 2-footed tackle, something like that. Like obviously it's a long shot. But if something like that happens, then, all of a sudden everything's in play.
Of course, there's a comment here from Kane who says, Terry, you know that Man City's defence are injured. This is true. And stop lying. I mean, I'm not lying. I do think it's a long shot, but I'm not going to sit here and talk like I'm a Liverpool fan, my friend. So I do know Kane, and I respect you for watching the Terrace. Like, I'm being positive about Liverpool here. I'm not going to be a Liverpool fan. Like, you do need to understand that, my friend. It's just that JJ here says, why would you say stupid things on the internet?
Why not? The door's open for you, Terry.
I'm not surprised you say stupid things.
I got spare shirts, Terry, if you want. I got a nice candy 1989. You look very nice in that, bro.
If someone donates £1,000 to the Terrace, I wear a Liverpool shirt. That's the price. That's the price of my dignity.
All right, guys, let's round up, yeah? Let's get the GoFundMe together.
JJ here says, Stevie G, 10-0-0 formation, play for the draw. Listen, one thing I will say, so Khan, if you're listening, my friend, I think I called you Kane. I meant Khan, if you are listening still. What I don't like are people that are saying this is impossible. And maybe my thoughts of 10% are wrong. Maybe it is 20%. Maybe it is 30%. Maybe it is 40%. The percentage doesn't really bother me. You all know I hate these prerequisite sort of predictions of almost 100%. It won't happen. Why are we even talking about it? And you'll probably find people on other spaces and YouTube channels this week say, what's the point of even talking about it? It's not happening. That knocks me sick. As a football fan, that knocks me sick because we have seen so many great moments, so many wins. When Man City played Wigan in the FA Cup final, because essentially the weekend's a cup final now. No, who would have picked them to win? Like, to say they've got no chance is just stupid. We've seen these things so often in football. Of course, Liverpool can do it. They're up against it because Man City's home record is ridiculous. But listen, if it does happen as well, I mean, it'll be sensational. It'll be sensational.
Do you know what? These kids, right? They don't understand. 1989. You guys weren't conscious what 1989 was all about. We are winning the league, right? They have to beat us 2-0 at home at Anfield, and we've been unbeatable at Anfield all season, bro. And Leeds, come on, it was literally a done deal. And Arsenal, Michael Thomas, that.
Yeah, no, listen, exactly. But so I'm just checking something here. There's a player gone down in the Forest box. It looked like he dived. I mean, the referee hasn't really made a decision yet. He has. Okay.
Forest against who?
Sheffield United. I love the playoffs and the playoff final. They're amazing. Actually, the playoff final is arguably one of the best games in football. It's the most expensive game in football, isn't it? It's worth like 100 million or something. Yeah,
obviously gets all the TV rights.
It's crazy. Is Terry divorced? You've started here, Zane. Do you know what I mean? Officially not yet. I'm waiting for some final paperwork, but yes. But who left who? Zane doesn't know because I've never told Zane about my
Well,
private.
you get a bit of drama on the show, bruv. Love it. Do you know
But
what I mean?
equally, what I will just say on a real serious note, because people take the piss, like I don't talk about anything to do with my children's mothers, like on air, because I've got my kids to think about. I'd never put a thing out, whether I left them, they left me on the internet, because one day my kids might see it, and I would never do it. Just a few people have asked nicely. I'm just not going to talk about it on the internet. I don't really get anyone who talks about their private life on the internet. I find it very strange. That involves other
Bro,
people.
what Forest game are you talking about?
Forest.
The playoffs.
Playoffs, Sheffield United.
It already happened though, and Forest won 2-0.
No, it's 2 legs, bro.
No,
It's two legs.
two
It's
legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 2 legs. It's 2 legs. There was a super chat someone said I missed. So I do miss them sometimes because they go down the screen very quickly. But question I've got, the next question I want to ask you guys is, how good, you got the Champions League final coming up, which is kind of why the rotation happened today. You've won 2 trophies. First time you've done a domestic cup double, I think since 2001. Gerard Houllier and all that. How good a season is it with or without the Champions League and Premier League? Like, where do you rank it? And do you need one of those trophies for it to be, by Liverpool standard, to be a great season? Like, how are you feeling as Liverpool fans about that? I'm intrigued.
You know what? Yeah, like I can hear rival fans if they want to laugh at us if you only come away with the 2 domestic cups, but I don't know about you, man. Obviously, winning is the main thing in football. That's the reason why we're all here. But the journey that we've been on this season, without getting all like sentimental on that, has been mad. We're the only team to say that we played in every game and it's actually like meant something right down to the end. Obviously, we need to win, and I think for me, we need to win either the Prem or the Champions League. I can take not winning the Prem if we go and beat Madrid, because I think kind of what kind of eased the blow in 18-19 of obviously losing it on the last day is that we went to Madrid, beat Spurs in the final. That was like the last kick of the season, was us being remembered as lifting the Champions League. So we've got a chance to do the same thing again. But going back to the question, like 2 cups, I would say is a successful season, considering a lot of people didn't even have us in top 4, had us finishing 4th, had us scraping by, saying that Van Dijk's not going to come back, all this, that, and the other. And yeah, just to finish, like I said, people wrote us off at the beginning of the season, but we came back, we fought right to the end. Like, in finals, anything can happen. We can go and play out of our skins against Madrid and still end up losing. But I think I'll still be proud of the team this season. But yeah, man, it's been a good season regardless. I would still say it's been a success, but we need one of the big ones. We do need either Premier or Champions League for me to really like have my chest out, I think.
What I'll say is at the start of the season, I said that we need to win. At the start of the season, I said we need to win the either Champions League or Premier League for it to be, or it's a failure. And I still kind of feel like that, because ultimately we're one of the top 2-3 teams in the world, and if you're at that level, then you need to be winning one of the top 1 or 2 club competitions in the world. So in that regard, I absolutely I still stand by it. But at the same time, you need some context, right? And look, we have walked away with two trophies right now, and I've really enjoyed this season. Like, this season has been such a great run. Obviously, if we lose in the Champions League final, we don't win the league, it'll be disappointing, and it still will be a failure in my book. But there's like failure of the of the lowest possible level, and then there's kind of failure which you can not live with, but you can still say, you know what, I'm proud of the team, I'm proud of the players, I'm proud of the club. Regardless of what happens, I will still enjoy the season. And as Liverpool fans, no one's going to take that away from us. But winning that Premier League or Champions League will make it a different level.
I'll be real. I'm fuming with what I'm hearing right now. I'm stopping myself to not go that angry. This season is 100% a failure. 100% a failure if we don't win the Prem or Champs. Respectfully, if we're here to win FA Cups and Carabao Cups, just blow this whole shit up, just sell everyone and get a bunch of youngsters and let's go win cup competitions. Come on, man. Let's be honest. This is Liverpool Football Club, the most successful club in England. You have to keep the high standards. Give me Prem or Champs, it's successful. Give me neither, it's a failure. Carabao Cup and FA Cup are the cherry on top of the cake. If there is no cake and I just give you 2 pieces of cherry, you're still hungry. So, I will be extremely disappointed. I will have nothing to sing about. It's just win the Champions League or win the Premier League. If you win either, it's a successful season immediately. If you don't win one of them, it's a failure. Regardless, we're not here to win FA Cups and Carabao Cups. FA Cup and Carabao Cup is amazing when you put it next to something, when you put it next to something big, the Premier League or the Champions League. And this is why in the summer, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do it. This is why in the summer, when I was talking about signings and I was talking about getting players in, and you had FSG's accountants come at me, I said we need to sign players to compete. Had we signed Luis Diaz in the summer, the league would have already been in Henderson's
That's
hands.
a different story. Sam, that's a different story, man.
I have to say this, Rack.
No, I know you have to say it, but I can't let you say it without.
I can't hear that,
it.
you know.
Because at the end of the day,
no
we have no idea whether to what extent Luis Diaz was.
I have an idea, 100%. I know
We don't.
as we strengthened in the summer, we would have wrapped up this Premier League already. All you have to do is look at the league form from January till now, and it tells you all you need to know. We allowed
Luis
Manchester
Diaz wouldn't have
City
stopped us
to
drawing
play.
to
Let me land, guys. Let me land. Just let me land. We allowed Manchester City to play pressure-free football for a period of 2 months where no one was contending with them, and they just wake up and they're top of the league, and no one's fighting with them. And that's why as soon as pressure built up, they drew to Southampton, they lost games, etc., and they fell off a little bit, and it allowed us to come back. Now, what I'm saying is, in the summer, when I said all the stuff about the summer, when I said all the stuff about the transfers, when I said all the stuff about the transfers, I said, okay, season started, I'm gonna let it go. But now, give me Prem, give me Champs. That's what I think of as a success. I would happily give back both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. I'd give them back to win either Prem or Champs. Happily.
I know, but of course, that's like, don't get me wrong, the Champions League or the Premier League are the ultimate, and they will ultimately determine whether the season, for me anyway, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion, they will determine whether the season's successful or not. But
sorry. Finish up, Rack, and I'm going to jump in off the Rack. Sorry, finish up, Rack. Sorry.
Yeah, I would swap them both for Champs or Premier as well. So we're all on the same page there. What I'm saying is that I'm sure that it's the same with you, Hassan. Like, this season has been amazing. Like, some of the games, some of the results, some of the way we've played, it has been amazing. And no one, like, I know maybe I'm getting a bit sentimental, but no one's going to take that stuff away from us, right?
I agree with you, Rack. I look at it this way. It's like, yes, if you don't win a Premier League or a Champions League, is it, they've missed another penalty. Wow, another save from the keeper. Southampton missed the first 2 pens. Sorry, Sheffield United. As you can hear from Rack's dad there, my TV's just a little ahead of theirs, obviously. I don't know how it happened. It's weird. But yeah, I just feel like, yes, for a great season, that's what it's got to be. But you're in 3 cup finals. You could lose to Real Madrid and still be the better team on the night. It doesn't make it failure. Kind of context. If you were 10 points clear at the top of the league and you threw that away and you lost it and you didn't get to cup finals, that's kind of more of a failure than making 3 cup finals and missing out on winning the Premier League by a point. I think contextually you've got to look at it. It won't go down, it won't go down as a great season because you didn't have the trophies. But I think as a season, I don't know. Look, my team's been in the mud so long. I love a Carabao Cup. That would make me very happy.
Right now, it's a good season. Free. If we win 3, it'll be a great season, and if we do the quad, it'll be an unbeatable season. I think you look at it like that. Do you know what I mean?
Good, great.
Yeah.
You completed.
I'll tell you what,
and I say it's good because with context. Remember, these 2 cups are 2 cups that we haven't had for a long time, and Klopp hasn't had. He hasn't had any domestic cups. It's a branch that rivals have beat over our head. Oh, he don't win domestic cups. He can't do it domestically. So if you add context to it, like, it's not just any, like, we're not Arsenal. Where it's like another FA Cup. Like, do you know what I mean?
You make a
Can
good
I add
point.
my point on this one?
Yeah, go on, Zane.
What for mine is a bit more nuanced that in terms of winning breeds winning. So you are now building that squad to be able to deal with high pressure situations. And once you start winning one and you win a couple, it becomes a habit, it becomes part of the dressing room. There's a standard. Like Terry talked about a lot of times, like the standard that was set back in the day with the quality players from Manchester United have deteriorated slowly over time. And that's what we're building at the moment, is them levels like, no, this is what it means to play for Liverpool. You need to get to his level. And I think that's really what the key is now. And I think we'll be good. And then let me ask you this, right? Is this controversial? I was happy we made the changes because I'd rather have a fully fit team for the Champions League final than hoping Man City drop points. Because at least with the Champions League final,
It's in our hands.
we're guaranteed we give it all, we're going to win it. Whereas there's no guarantees.
I think that's
There's a
logic.
chance.
That's great logic. But this is the thing with football. It's everything's always hindsight, isn't it? Because if you would have rotated tonight and drawn or lost, and then City do get beat by Villa on the final day, it'll be if we'd have played our first team. Keep that on mute. I've had enough of that. No, I'm only joking. It's one of them things for me where you are right now because you won tonight. If you'd have got beat when that first goal went in, I know for a fact some Liverpool fans sitting there going, "Oh, why did we rotate?" Because suddenly it's City were champions when that goal went in. So I think it's. Look, I look at Liverpool and City in the same light as I looked at Man United and probably the way Arsenal fans looked at their club in the very good years. It's almost you can have a season where you don't win as much as you expect. I remember in 2008 and 2009, there was opportunities that trebles were on those years. 2008, we lost the game in the FA Cup to Portsmouth where we battered them and couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. We had the goalkeeper wrongfully sent off and we went out 1-0 at Old Trafford. If you actually look at the rest of that season in the FA Cup, it was so open. We'd have won that at a canter if we'd have got through that round. I swear that's the year that it was Portsmouth and Cardiff or something like that. I might be wrong, but it was fairly easy.
2008, yeah, it's Portsmouth.
Yeah, so it was one of those years where if we'd have got through that, I mean, we've only had to have beaten Tottenham. That was the only hard game after that we'd have faced. That weren't heard in 2008. So it didn't feel as disappointing. I've had other seasons where we've walked away with no trophies or just one trophy, but because there's excitement, and I'm not talking excitement because you went on a good 3 months, and that's not a dig at any other club. I'm talking about excitement because of how good you are. I feel even a bad season by Liverpool standards of now is still a very good season to everybody else. And it's just about maintaining it. And you've been a brilliant team this year. There's no doubt. To come back from, I know people say you had games in hand. You've got to win the damn things. This is why the 14-point gap means something.
As Arsenal know.
In my opinion, the 14-point gap means something because
you got to do it.
It's the greatest ever comeback if it happens.
Well, two of the games that you played that weren't games in hand, but two of the games you played were during AFCON when the whole of English football, barring a certain dickhead right now in a stripy shirt outside of the Liverpool fan base, were guaranteeing you would lose because you were losing some players to AFCON. And that's what I mean by those weird prerequisite 100% undeniable things that are going to happen in the game. Those kind of predictions really bother me, but it's going to be an amazing end. I may not speak to all of you between now and the final. Saint, from your point of view, how confident are you of beating Real Madrid?
Me,
Saint. I said Saint.
Yeah. No, you know what? I did say that I wanted them out of City and Real. It's one of them ones where once you get what you ask for, sometimes it's a little bit like,
it's a bit like,
it's a bit like, oh, jeez. So I am a little bit more. Before I was like, nah, man, we'll do them, and I do think we'll do them. The long and short is, I do think that we've got. I think if you put us in the positions that Chelsea were in, I think that we come back in it. Like, I definitely, we've got that pedigree. People talk about their heritage and they try and overlook ours. Like, we'll be moving into 7, the second, do you know what I mean, best. So I've got to back our boys, man. And I reckon we'll do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing, as you say, it's that number 7 as well. And listen, I'm a Man United fan, but I'll remain. I'll be fair about these things, as you say. That's the heritage levels that people are talking about. Do you get what I mean? Like Real Madrid are on that 13, and it may not be a club that you look at as they may not be in your sights just yet, but it puts you with AC Milan as an example. In some respects, AC Milan, I know they're getting better as it stands right now, but who knows?
God. They're still like sleeping giants, though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
They're not fully back.
AC Milan were that club that I wanted just for footballing reasons. I wanted Pep to go to after Man City to see whether he could reignite them.
Reignite the giant.
Yeah, because he could. Like that would be the ironic thing. He'll end up going to a club like that after not winning the Champions League at City and
win like 4 of them.
4 of them. Yeah. I'm exaggerating on purpose for comedic value. It may not be very funny, but that was the point. Not an Forest through to the final, by the way. I love a pitching.
But.
Sorry, Terry. So I'm going to say that. I know you said that. I honestly wouldn't be that upset if we lost today. I'm not going to lie, because for me, I think the European Cup is a level above the Premier League, just because it's not often you're good enough to win it. Get into final, let now win it, right? Because come on, it is quite a hard thing to do, right? As the standard gets better around everywhere. So I think
I agree.
where you have the opportunity, you've got to go for it because you never know. When
You just
you're
wanted
gonna
it
get
for your
second
agenda,
place, right?
Zane. You just wanted it for your
No,
agenda.
no, I'm kidding.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
come
You just
on,
wanted it for
honestly,
the
right?
let
It's
the
not an
agendas run,
agenda.
innit?
No, it's also
But you're in a
Zane,
position.
let
Do you
me
know
ask
what
you
it is? Do
something.
you know what it is? Yeah. What I don't understand, and like I'm like I said, I'm an old cunt. Like I've been watching football for a long time. We're in a position to be like Liverpool. Us, like we were laughed at. Like I said, like one of the hardest things to do is be a Liverpool fan in London through those times. Like and like a lot of us are on the panel, and we're in a position that no other team has been in. Like we've pushed it to the last day, and the quad is still on, and you're not like why are you not? I don't understand. You should be basking. You should be like melting your marshmallows on the haters. Like, do you know what I mean? Heat, like not sitting there thinking, oh, but like no, or having to make like one or the other. Bun that. Like,
yeah, do you know
we're
what?
in a position to do
We're
it all.
here
Like,
to win it all, man.
No,
we're
we're
here to
getting
win it
disrespected, bro.
all.
We're
Like,
getting disrespected, bro. We've played every game this season. We won everything, and we're down to the last 2 possible games in the season.
Zane,
we don't
who's
get any more extras.
Zane, who's
can't be okay losing the league.
Zane, I'm being honest with you, Zane. Zane, I'm being honest with you, Zane. You've been more disrespectful to Liverpool this year than anyone. You said you're a cup team.
Trust me. That's why I said you're trying to let agendas run.
No, hold on. No. So, do what that's what I like about this debate. You guys got one in there, Brian. I got to just educate the brother, man. Because do you know what I mean? I got to screw him a bit.
What do you mean educate the brother? You said you were just a cup team, and in this very next breath, you're saying that too many people disrespect Liverpool. I'm the one who sat here as a Man United fan, and you're weirdly coming at me since the turn of the year and said you'd been the best team in the world in that time period. I thought you were going to catch City, and you still might. I've barely written you off. Yes, I've had a giggle when things haven't quite gone wrong, but I'm a rival and I'm absolutely allowed to do that. You, out of every Liverpool fan that comes on the terrace, have been the most disrespectful to your club, and then you moan about other people. If you're disrespecting Liverpool,
and sat here and said you'd be okay with not winning the league.
Ask me one question. Ask me one question, Zane.
And then can I respond afterwards?
Answer me the question. If you are going to be disrespectful to Liverpool, how can you ask for Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal fans to respect your club?
Facts.
Right. So first of all, I talk with facts. I'm quite a logical, analytical person. So I just call out what I see, the deficiencies in the team, right? And I said, in my opinion, my humble opinion, right at the start, when Chelsea were flying, we were behind, and then Man City were 5 points behind us. I just said I thought the way our team's composed and the level of maturity to youth and experience and blend all that, it wasn't quite run for a cup run, especially with the AFCON. You've got to be analytical. Think, you got the cup run as well. You got the AFCON as well. So I said what I said, right? All I'm saying is, and I've been critical but fair. It's not been an agenda there. I've criticised Mane. I've criticised Salah. Trent. I've criticised him as well, right? But what people need to understand is that what I have an issue about the disrespect, right? This is the disrespect. You got all these Arsenal fans sucking off Arsenal, the Invincibles. How many games did they draw? What else did they win? They win no other cups. They just won one title.
They went unbeaten. You're deflecting a little bit.
And Liverpool are the only team. Let me land.
Land in poo. You're landing in poo right now.
To be down to the last 2 games, you've got to give us.
You just said that I would be okay losing. You actually said I would be okay losing today. That's sacrilegious.
That
with
was
one
on the question on. That's my opinion.
Zane, you've made your point, Zane, and I get your point. But that isn't what's being said. Of course, I'm sorry to be disrespectful here. Of course, Arsenal fans are going to say their team was better. Of course, Man United fans are going to say their historic teams are better. The same as you. You're an older Liverpool fan. You're a lot older. You're older like me. You definitely, when Man United fans through the 90s and the noughties were saying we're the greatest English team of all time, we're saying you don't touch Dalglish's team. You did the same thing. Getting angry at Arsenal fans for not loving Liverpool more than they love Arsenal is the weirdest thing in the world, Zane. It's the weirdest thing. Look, my point to you is, if you said that you're a cup team, but you're going down to the final day of the season where you can win the league. A cup team is someone that's nowhere near a title race that does well in cups. You have been more. There's a super chat here that's about you, Zane. It says Zane wants to be right so bad that he'd take being right over a quad.
No, I
agree. I agree.
Right, this is what I said. You want the agenda to run because you'll be the same person, Zane. When the quad happens, you'll be the same person. When the quad happens, we'll be like, yeah, like man said.
I knew you were going to ask this question, Bob. I knew it. So imagine, right? On Sunday, we win. You go, oh, Zane, what are you happy? Your team, you said you're. What kind of madness is that, people? What kind of madness?
Zane, you're wrong. You're wrong again, Zane. People won't be wrong with you being happy. People will be wrong when you come on and go, everyone disrespected Liverpool. Look,
I told you.
You said you weren't going to do it. That's
Terry, you remember early on in the season we had, I think it was the weekend just before the first time Liverpool played Chelsea, the 1-1 game. We were in the studio Friday night on the terrace, and pretty much everyone laughed at Liverpool. The idea that Liverpool could even compete, could challenge
Chelsea
for the title at that point was laughable. I remember I saw Jem in the chat. And big up, Jem. Hope you're good, mate. Jem, Monster, David. Daniel was there as well. They were laughing at us. And I'm not having a pop at them, but it was emblematic of what a lot of people felt after last season. Look at there was 50% of pundits on BBC said we wouldn't even finish in the top 3.
Yeah. The
fact that we've kind of proved them wrong, and we've been there right till the end. That I think that's one thing that
we've turned haters from saying they're never going to win the
vindication that we feel, I think, is justified somewhat.
I agree. Gaza here says, always crazy moments in football. I remember clearly 1999, Bergkamp's penalty miss and Giggs' spectacular winner, Keno's semi-final header and Ollie's foot. And that's a Man United fan essentially saying anything can happen on Sunday, and he's spot on. I don't like if football was
in one game. No, I was going to say in one game. Just think about, we will have the whole of rivals and everyone that doesn't support Liverpool on their knees praying. Do you know what I mean? And that's what, whereas before they were sitting there going, "This lot ain't winning the fuck."
No,
do you know what I mean? Like,
but you're spot on, because I'm doing this. I've said it before, and I mean this with respect to Liverpool. This is when rivals are salty with you. Take it as a compliment. When I saw certain fan bases angry the other day at Man United's Frankie de Jong links, it makes me happy, because you're angry because no one knows how good or bad we're going to be, but that's Frankie de Jong, you know. That's starting to get it right.
It makes you think, oh shit, not
Terry, don't try. Don't even try. Don't even try with that.
No, but I know the point he's making. I get it.
I'm not talking about City and Liverpool fans that are up here. I'm talking about fans that are on the same level of us going, that's a rubbish signing. Yeah, of course you think it's rubbish. The point is, when people are salty with you, generally it's because you're doing something right. Yeah, same as they say about YouTubers. When you're getting haters, you're doing something right. You're achieving. Big up yourself, Lee Gunner, by the way, over there in the mud. When you're doing something right, it makes people angry. And I think that I will be on my knees hoping Liverpool don't do it on Sunday, because I said it already. The quad completes football, and it becomes too life. And the irony in this is this thing. Exactly, but the irony in it is this saying. You're having a go at clubs for bigging up their history. You winning this, it may be contemporary, but it makes history that nobody else can compete with. Which is why if you're a Liverpool fan and you can't understand why no other English fan of an English club wants you to do it, it's because they don't want to lose. And so that's why I get annoyed at Liverpool fans. I'm like, why is everyone so salty? Because you would be if this was Man United, City, Arsenal or Chelsea or Spurs. That won't happen, by the way, in this position. And that's what annoys me about rivalry is people, they embrace it in moments and then get angry about it in the other. It's the yin and the yang. If you want to give it, you have to understand that it's going to come back your way as well. And that's the only thing I want fans to get better at, is accepting that rivals will laugh at you when it goes wrong. That's normal as hell. I don't understand why in the last couple of years across social media, that's become almost like a taboo. Oh, you can't laugh at another team. Really? You've got the worst thing on TV telling us we should be supporting each other in Europe. No, I don't expect if any of you support Man United in Europe, you're never coming on the terrace again.
Never. The worst thing you can be is irrelevant. Like, I don't even think about United these days, and I'd love for there to be a rivalry between us, because that's what our club's history is built on.
Nah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't.
I'd like them to be a bit more relevant now. I don't even think about you, man, these days. I know that's how we used to be back in the day. Like, I love the fact
I'm happy giving them 9-0. That's what I'm happy with. I don't want them relevant. I want them as fit as
I'll take that
possible.
next season as well.
I don't, bro. I'm not trying to hear no competitive nothing, bro. We gave them 9-0 this season. 9-0.
Big facts.
9-0 we gave them this
To
season.
your point, though,
They're not
Terry.
even
Yeah.
about these
Going back to your point, though, I don't understand on the other side how fans can be so. This is the one, like, you literally were on the cusp of clocking football, and because we might not, like, fans don't want to sit there and like embrace.
I know you're old. I know you're old as well. You just said clocked. No one says clocked.
Yeah, clocked. Exactly.
Yeah, but I told you, like, but we have
Back in the
though.
day,
You know, like, you got the game, like, because you've done it.
Thomas here says we aren't
man.
Thomas here says we aren't asking why they're salty, Terry. We're just calling them out. I'll be honest with you as well, Thomas. I respect your watching. When your response to someone's banter is you're salty, it's an awful response. The response when I grew up to banter was to banter back. When you can't banter back and you say you're being salty, it's like, no, that's not it, man. Like, for me, it's not a response. It's like a poor argument. And a lot of Liverpool fans, it's not just Liverpool. Let me rephrase that. A lot of fans get annoyed when people banter them and their response is, yeah, but what have you done lately? That's also not a response to banter. Come back with something good, witty, like, have fun with it. And I do think an element of banter is missing. There's certain YouTube channels that get it perfectly when they mix themselves with other channels, and they're both having a pop at each other. There's no animosity and it's fun. And that's just what you need a little bit more of. Because trust me, when you embrace it, it's actually really fun. And every now and then you have nights like last night where it felt a bit like Igal was being walked through a scene of Game of Thrones with one after the other. It's because that was a personal thing, because he'd gone with those people and those clubs. But listen, Liverpool had a great season this year. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Regardless of what happens, we've had a boss run.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
man.
Terry.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Terry. You guys have. Sorry? Terry, you aren't making a channel about the top 6. No salt, no rice. This is what this channel is, bro. No, I don't. You ain't. I hate to break this to you, Khan. This is a top 6 channel, the first that ever existed. I'm confused. Anyway, we'll come to an end there. Listen, well done tonight, gents. Congratulations to Liverpool's final day of the season. It's gonna be a madness. Make sure you hit the like and the share button. More content coming out tomorrow. Transfer news, straight facts in the afternoon with Jess and I. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll